Most of the time that I have a disagreement with somebody in the tabletop role-playing game hobby, like another content creator, I won't say their name. In most cases, I won't say their name. Now, there's some people out there, if they take a poke at me, I might take a poke back. But for the most part, you might notice that I'll make a video where it seems like I'm disagreeing with maybe someone very specific, when it comes to the content creators out there talking about the game. Here's the honest reason. It's not that I'm afraid to have a disagreement with somebody. It's that it will be painted in a deceitful way as an attack on that person. If you think somebody is incorrect about something, it's taken as an attack, it's painted as an attack, and even when the content creator themselves know that you're just disagreeing with them, they'll play along with the deceit and act like you are attacking them. They'll play victim. This has been done so often that it's made me no longer bring up certain names, even if I choose to disagree with something they are putting out there. Well, they get sway. People are listening to what they have to say, and I have an honest disagreement. I think having a disagreement, having that type of conversation is healthy for any hobby, for any situation, to progress what we are doing, to get further ahead. Disagreement and debate is a good thing. But when you're coming to a place like the tabletop role-playing game hobby, where just about every disagreement will be painted as an attack, it's hard to progress the conversation. So I do it without mentioning a name. In a way, it works. Some people might be unhappy. There'll be a minor amount of people that will say what I'm doing is cowardly. But I gotta sort of take that hit. But overall, it's still going to progress the conversation. For the most part, I focus on just talking about the games. I really do. That's really my aim most of the time. Giving advice from the years I spent, the wisdom I picked up, not to think I'm better than you, not even to act like you need the advice. I don't tell anyone what to do, but guess what? There's many people in the hobby, when they hear something they don't like, they paint it as being something that you're doing that you're not doing. And they're doing that so they can dismiss what you're saying. Like they'll say, oh, you're just telling people what to do. Well, when you listen to that video, you'll know right away. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you what I think. And that's all that's happening in the content. Around the tabletop role-playing game hobby, at least in certain parts of it, there's a very common dishonesty that keeps happening. And I think it's because some people want to control the overall conversation. The idea of having ideas challenged, or for you to say what they don't want to hear, they want to control that. So how do they control that? They paint what you're doing as being something bad. Well, if you're attacking someone, that's awful. That's not an acceptable disagreement. You're attacking someone. Oh, you're saying what you think? No, you're telling me what to do. And if you're telling people what to do, that's wrong. But if you're really not doing either one of these things, then what you're doing is fine. And it's actually good and healthy for the hobby to have those conversations. But guess what? It won't be painted that way. And you'll be painted as causing drama instead of doing something good for the hobby. It's been going on for years, especially around what I call the old school part of the tabletop role-playing game hobby. That's where a lot of my content is going to be aimed at. It's not like I have a bunch of people in what we might call the new school really checking out my content. But I got a few. I'm very happy with the people from the new school that give me the time of day. I appreciate it. Now, I try my best to give out a lot of neutral advice that works for them and their game as much as it would for any old school game out there. I think that's why I attract some people here, because I'm willing to speak to issues they themselves encounter where, yeah, that bit of what I'm saying is helpful to their gaming. So, this is why I take the approach of not saying names. For those out there that think I'm being a coward about not mentioning certain people, well, Look, if I could mention their names and not be accused of attacking them when I disagree with them, I would agree with you. If that was the circumstances, the conditions, that I'm facing when I go to speak, I'd have no problem. No problem. I'd say their name. They could come back and reply to me, and we could have maybe even a conversation about it in the long run. Have that disagreement. If I'm wrong, they can correct me. If I think they're wrong, well, they're public people. Here's what a lot of people I think get confused about. Because I hear it often. Well, I say something and people come out and disagree with me. Well, I mean, if you want to talk in private so you can stay in a bubble, right, so people don't confront you, you do that. But the second you speak out in public, that right goes away. You can't live in a bubble in the public. You can't be protected when you speak words out loud. There's benefits for speaking out loud. You can grow an audience. You could even make money, but it's not for free. The second you put yourself out here, you open yourself up to disagreement. Some people just might not agree with you. And you can't just be in a protected bubble out in public. So you have a choice. Keep your opinions to yourself or speak in private. But the second you step out here, everyone has the right to disagree with you without being accused of attacking you. But we have a lot of people in the tabletop role-playing game hobby, especially around the old school, that live in some delusion. I hate to call it out, it is what it is, where they think they can speak out in public and somehow nobody has the right to say something to disagree with what they're saying. That's just part of putting yourself out here. You can't get the benefits from speaking out in public without facing disagreement, without facing negative backlash to what you're saying. And again, you put yourself out here so people have the right to speak back to you. And, there's many ways you can cut off what you call direct responses, but you can't cut off all responses. Look, you might not allow people to say anything in your comment section. That's fair. That's your right to a degree. But you can't stop somebody from making a video about you. But how some people think they can control reactions from other people when they put themselves out here and say what they think. They think they can control it by making accusations, painting a false picture of what is being done. No, I'm not attacking you. I'm disagreeing with you. And there is a difference. But guess what? I guess if you say I'm attacking you, a lot of people don't look beyond the claim. They don't look beyond the title. It's, oh, that person's attacking you, then let me say this. Yet, every time I'm accused of attacking people, people will come listen to the content that I put out there, and everyone who honestly listens to it, who's not out to be deceitful, who has no dog in the fight, they're not defending anyone, they're not on a team, they're simply listening to it to see if it's honestly an attack. 100% of the time, people come back and tell me, you're not attacking anyone, you're just disagreeing. I know. In the old school, people will attack me, but seriously attack. All about humiliation, name-calling, insulting, and the whole 9 yards. You know what they'll call it? We're just joking around. We're just poking you. Yet their actions are that would ruin someone's reputation on here. Would make it that they have a harder time gaining a following. And they actually know that. They know what they're doing as they're doing it. And you can tell the difference between them actually joking with people they like and then going after someone they don't like. But they'll paint a false picture about their own actions while accusing simple disagreement you're putting out there as an attack. It's a lot of people around the old school live in a bubble of deceit. This is not a video where I'm complaining about it. It's been going on for years. I'm just telling the few people that come to me and say, Stephen, you seem like a very honest guy, right? Why are you attacking people from what I hear? Why aren't you mentioning someone's name? You're just disagreeing with them. And I'm like, well, first off, I'm not attacking anyone. And I agree with you. If the picture wasn't going to be falsely painted, I would simply say someone's name because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all. I'm totally ready for the conversation, the disagreement, the debate, which I think is fine, healthy, and it has nothing to do with creating drama. Disagreements and debates further what we're doing, progress the situation, let you learn things, right? Lets people, hear what other people have to think. It's a very healthy thing. Yet many people around the old school will take one of the healthiest things you can do, which is have open dialogue and debate about the issues, and they destroy that healthy process by painting it as drama. They really do. You'll hear them say, "Oh, there's Steven over there causing drama." Many people paint a false picture of me in general because they don't like what I have to say about certain things. When you don't agree with the majority, in the old school especially, instead of them just accepting that you have some disagreements with them, they paint it as you are a horrible person. And it's not direct, they won't say that right away, but they'll start looking for things, falsify things about you. Put up images that are fake images, and then say there's something real about that image. That's a real comment you left. Well, that's an image that looks like I left a comment. Or, here's a receipt where you're ripping somebody off. Oh, you mean the image, not the receipt, the image. Now, here's what's even more sad. The people that will play deceitful games here, instead of having the audience call them out for deceit, some of the audience, especially the very loud talking part of the audience, will back up deceit even when they know it's deceit. Like an image of a false receipt being shown, well, the image is good enough to get you a major accusation that is character assassination. They'll go on about you, they'll put out falsehoods. I mean, if you're going to make a major accusation and say somebody ripped somebody off, you should provide real evidence. And that should be a standard that we all expect from somebody making a major accusation. If you put out an image that can be falsified by people that don't like that person, any honest person would say that's not enough, that's not real evidence. We cannot crucify somebody, do character assassination on them, and bring them down over an image that can be falsified. You would never do that to another human being unless you, are playing in the deceitful zone yourself, right? And that happens a lot, sadly, in the old school part of the tabletop role-playing game hobby. That's why I don't interact with people the way I wanted to in the past. Because people ask me, why don't I interact with more people? Why don't I try to, outside of just doing interviews, why don't I agree to go on certain streams? Well, because people play a very two-faced game. I've seen guys go on streams and they do it under a goodwill situation. They actually expect there'll be something to trust there. They'll go on the stream, they leave the stream, and then everyone, including the people they went on the stream with, falsely and deceitfully crucify that person. They use that to hurt them. Even though the person's not done anything wrong, they trust it going on that stream would be a safe thing. Not knowing not just a few content creators would lie about them, but the audience around those content creators would get in on the lie. Now, the content creators know it's a lie, and even the audience knows it's a lie. And they all play along with the lies as if they're true. That's a pretty consistent thing around certain content creators in the old school. When I was a bit more immature about all this, I had never faced anything like this in my life until I got on here and started encountering all this deceit that I've talked about in this video. I never encountered it before, so to know how to deal with this or to know how that would go, I had no idea. Do I respond? Do I let it go? And with that audience, when I let it go, that hurt me with the specific audience around those content creators. Yeah, fair enough. But here's what I figured out. When people behave like that, it's noticed. And what they do is they create an echo chamber. They really do. But the only way they extend outside that echo chamber and draw more people to the echo chamber and hurt you is when you react to it. When you actually stop reacting to specific people, like you don't speak about their names, you don't react directly to the lies or the drama, you know what happens? No one outside of their echo chamber hears about this anymore. You find out that all the deceit, all the attacks, all the lies have no effect on you. Fair enough, you won't be able to gain from the echo chamber But outside the echo chamber, ain't no one hearing nothing. And guess what? There's a lot of people outside the echo chamber that quietly watch your stuff, and they lose respect for the echo chamber, not you. Like most fair-minded people actually do not buy the lies that you've attacked anyone. They don't buy the lies that you're telling people how to play the game, right? They don't buy the lies of the fake images shown to prove that you're a bad person. And why do people want to prove that you're a bad person? Well, because they hate you for very minute things. Things that if they told people the real reason they hate you, they'd be embarrassed. You couldn't publicly just hate somebody or crucify them or do character assassination on them over minor things. Not do that and keep face. So how do you attack somebody in this cruel way? Well, you make up fakery. You try to prove something that's not real about them. Make a major false accusation and go, look how bad they are. Now we can crucify you and feel justified. Now we can do character assassination on you in extreme ways and feel justified. We couldn't do it over just simply your opinions that we disagreed with, but we can do it when we falsify something about you. We say you've done something horrible when you've done nothing. It took me a while to figure out just to let it go. Shut up and not respond to any of it. You know, for a while their responding was bad, and then I tried to play with it a bit, tried to do some other things in my responses to it, because really, I guess I was naive. I wanted to talk to the echo chamber. These are people that do like certain games, I like stuff like that. I thought, you know, there's some decent people in the echo chamber. I thought that I was a little foolish, immature, naive. And I tried for years to sort of open up the door, not get redemption, but meet on an even playing field. But what I find out from the attackers is, even though they do the attacking, they act like you're the bad guy. They'll say things like, well, maybe he wants redemption with us, but I haven't done anything wrong. They did the wrong. If there's anybody that needs redemption, they need it with me. But they'll falsify reality. They'll stay in their echo chamber delusion. So what I do now is I might come out with a general video like this, just sort of telling you about my experience. But I won't mention names. I won't give specific people attention. And by not giving them attention, their lies, their bullshit stays sealed in their echo chamber. Nobody outside of their echo chamber knows what's going on. And again, fair, honest people, it might take longer to gain their trust because they see them with so much deceit. So it takes longer to build up an audience with honest people, but I know they're the majority. It just takes longer to earn it with them. But they ignore the echo chamber, and they actually see the echo chamber for what it is. They just want to know that you will not partake with the echo chamber. They'll tell you things like, honest people, just ignore those people. We don't care. But look at the major accusation. You'll still talk to me? Yeah, we actually don't believe it, so that's why we'll still talk to you. If we believed it, if they had real evidence, we might think you're a bad person, Stephen, and not talk to you. But since we only see images, you don't need to tell us that that's not good enough. We know that's not good enough. Of course we're going to ignore that. It just took me a bit to realize, like, oh wow, the actual people I want on this YouTube channel are people that don't buy into the bullshit. So I don't even have to defend against it. All I really have to do at the end of the day is ignore it. There's a part of me that gets sad that there's a portion of people out there I can't connect with that might have some other good qualities about them, but they're surrounded by the deceit. That means they're stuck in a delusion. And no matter what other good qualities they have, I have to let that go and aim at a different audience. That's been my new approach on here, right? Letting it go and moving on. I know I'm a decent human being. I know I haven't done anything bad to people. I know I haven't done what they say I've done. I know I'm just simply someone with some opinions that they disagree with. And yes, I'm someone who might have a few disagreements with some of the other content creators out there, right? And I want to tell you what I think, but I'm never telling you what to do. You do whatever you want to do at your table. And I repeat that all the time, but in a way I shouldn't have to. I'm not coming to your table saying you got to do it this way. I just tell you, here's what I think. That's it. That's not telling anybody what to do at their table. So if you paint it that way, I know now that you're probably part of the echo chamber. If I put out a disagreement out there and you say it's an attack on someone, I know you're probably part of the echo chamber. And I need to just Acknowledge who is part of the echo chamber and move on from those people. Not get bothered. Let their minority voice, be within that. Because if I don't react to it, they have no reach outside of their echo chamber. Right? That's why I've gotten away from that, focused on games. Now today I'm going out to celebrate my birthday a little early because I have some friends down that won't be here on my actual birthday, which is Sunday. And so I'll tell you what I'm doing for the rest of the week. Tomorrow I'll be covering a game on stream, Space Opera, old school tabletop role-playing game. Saturday I'll be covering Bushido, a very interesting game. And then Sunday I'm going to cover a well-known popular game, Shadowrun. And Sunday is May 3rd. That's my birthday. I'll be 46 years of age. For an old school guy, I'm young with a lot of years left. And I don't want to waste it on the echo chamber. So for people out there thinking I'm being a coward, that I'm not saying names, here's the reason. Those names, those people, I might respond to things they say out there, but I won't say their name because I know those specific people are part of the echo chamber. And I just decided to walk away from the echo chamber. So if you hear me saying there's some people in the old school that do this stuff, I'm talking about an echo chamber. I'm not talking about the majority in the old school. So when it comes to the old school community, for the majority of you, I'm here. I'm talking to you. I know you're decent. But I know there is a very well-known core echo chamber, a minority in that zone. Now when we say a minority, it's in large numbers, but still the decent people outnumber them and the masses. And the masses. I know this. It takes a little bit longer to build up with those people, but I do want to go after a bigger audience than a minute echo chamber audience that they might grow me fast if I were to say exactly what they want to hear. There's a lot of stimulation and trickery in what they're doing. It can feel good, but there's a short ceiling. You grow fast, but you hit the ceiling fast as well. Right? And the thing is, the majority of the old school will not follow you if you're playing with the echo chamber. So you got to take a good while to prove to the majority of decent people out there. I got to take a good while to show you I'm past that. That I'm going to keep doing neutral, fair content that you want. And by doing so, I even draw people in from the new school and just other parts of the hobby in general. And I really appreciate that that's happening. I see people showing up to my channel that would have never shown up before because I've given up on that and focused on just giving out good, talk about the games, which is all they want. Now, in the process, I'm also a very honest person. But I understand that decent people are open to honesty. They're not as sensitive to certain things that I'll say. So at the odd times, you might hear me put out a negative opinion about something in the hobby, but it's not a personal attack on you. It's something I've acknowledged. That's all it is. It's a reality. And I don't put it out there for fanfare all the time. I think just some things need to be said, right? That's all. So I hope you can overlook any of that opinion content, but it's no longer drama. No longer focused on the echo chamber. I don't want to involve myself with any more echo chambers going forward. I want to create a community of people that are open-minded, decent, can handle debate, can handle a back and forth. I'm not looking for people to kiss my ass or agree with me on everything. I hope that gets noticed. I hope it gets noticed that I can handle people not agreeing with me. Oh, I can be a little rough back. But I won't paint it as deceit. I won't say you're bad for disagreeing with me. I won't play that two-faced game like the echo chamber. I hope you notice all this going forward. And I hope for many of you it appeals to you. But I know it's going to take me a little while to really gain your trust, a lot of you out there. But I will gain it. I'll be working very hard. Okay. There, I'm going to go celebrate my birthday early. But I'll see you tomorrow for Space Opera, Saturday Bushido, and then Sunday for Shadowrun. Might have a drink or two of rum on my birthday. Right? I usually don't drink often. Usually only around my birthday, but I promise you I'll be able to cover the game. But I might do it with a little tiny bit of a buzz, right? We'll have a little fun, right? Okay, I'll talk to you then.